Section 6. Misconceptions about efficiency. Many experts keep saying that, because Americans are more efficient, American labor is worth more and creates higher value. I have always found this puzzling. If Americans are more efficient, then how is it that Chinese-made goods are exported to America? Take the same job of delivering a parcel. Do Americans run faster than the Chinese? Take the same job of cutting hair. Is an American barber any better at the craft than a Chinese one? What, in the end, is efficiency? Only in the past couple of years have I come to a rough understanding of this question. Against the view held by the experts, the American market runs at very low efficiency. The reason is that the American market has been alive for too long. The accumulated stock of assets across society has grown too large. Those assets grow at almost a constant rate every year. The money is embedded into every industry and every field in America. In the end, it is apportioned out as costs onto every person's head. Each person carries a heavy burden. This kind of cost makes the net return on American labor a negative number. In a society where the net return on labor is negative, the group that innovation serves is dominated by the relatively wealthy. Demand is locked into a narrow band. Innovation is naturally locked out. This is why, after America completed its urbanization, that is, its investment phase, the real economy companies with the best growth almost all sit in the delivery and information areas. The reason firms like Walmart, AutoZone, and Amazon were able to rise so quickly in such a short space of time is that they can source cheap goods from the rest of the world, that is, from the high-efficiency markets, into America itself, the low-efficiency market, and sell them at low prices. The reason real economy firms such as General Motors, Delphi, Ford, and Chrysler have declined is that the domestic labor they employ, which is low efficiency, must carry a heavy load of debt. Local low efficiency competing against external high efficiency drives firms like GM into bankruptcy. The bankruptcy of Detroit follows this same internal logic. In a self-locked, low efficiency market, the reason the American market manages to be dead but not yet stiff is that America can draw on the huge sums of money that have been drawn against the future during the global urbanization process. The government has helped the consumer carry the loss. $65.5 trillion of government debt is the underlying reason the American market remains dead, but not yet stiff. Put another way, looked at on its own, the American market is a low-efficiency market on the verge of death. Looked at from the angle of the center of the global market, America does hold a high-efficiency portion, but the fulcrum of that high-efficiency portion sits outside its borders. When innovation in the external market actually arrives, the American center comes to its natural end. In 2008, with global urbanization past its halfway point and the capacity to draw against the future weakening, America's problem, namely the subprime debt crisis, broke out at once. The American market is past saving. A rebuild built on intelligent automation factories cannot save the American economy at root. When the return demanded by a society's capital, that is, its assets, exceeds its GDP, employment is locked out in theory. Human labor turns into pure burden. The outcome must be death. To take a zombie market kept alive by external blood transfusion as our model is the biggest mistake in our subjective thinking. To put it more plainly, the received wisdom has the logic the wrong way round. Treating a zombie as the direction of development is the very reason for moving towards death. Looking at the matter objectively, and starting from manufacturing, China's efficiency is at least several times that of America. Steel is an industry that links upstream and downstream. Upstream, it connects to coal, transport, electricity, oil, and resources. Downstream, it connects to property, motor cars, heavy trucks, machinery, construction machinery, heavy chemicals, home appliances, textiles, shipbuilding, new energy, and other industries. China's steel output is already more than 10 times that of America. Over the past 13 years, China has produced 6.13 billion tons of crude steel. That figure already approaches the sum of all the steel America has produced over the past 100 years. Across those steel-using fields, the output of Chinese-made goods stands, in almost every case, at somewhere between several times and 12 times that of America's. Many experts hold that all of this Chinese capacity is low-end and low efficiency. We need to put the question back to the experts. What, then, counts as high-end and high efficiency. Is oil high-end? Is coal high-end? Is iron ore high-end? Plainly, they are not high-end. They can, however, command high profits. Will 2 Volkswagens last longer than 1 Mercedes-Benz? Will the use value of 2 Volkswagens exceed the use value of 1 Mercedes-Benz? So-called added value cannot be seen and cannot be touched. Where exactly is the difference between this and theology? The difference in quality between Chinese-made goods and American, Japanese, or German-made goods is a relationship of percentages. The difference in quantity between Chinese-made and American-made goods is a relationship of multiples. Once the arithmetic is done, China's actual production efficiency is at least several times that of America. The quantified result is that, on the objective side, China has long since overtaken America in production efficiency. On the subjective side, we still hold the view that we are far behind America and Japan. This produces an outcome. Our thinking sits inside the market rules America has made. Our objective conditions, however, have moved outside the market rules that suit America's objective conditions. Put another way, our subjective lives in the past. Our objective has already entered the future. Suppose American efficiency stands at 100%. Our efficiency is then at least 500%. We are nonetheless allocating resources as though we had reached 50% of America's efficiency. Under that classic misdirection, the public has not even, or rather has not dared, to put forward the idea of incomes that go beyond America's. And so we get this picture. We are wholly bent on reaching the innovation capacity and the wage level of Americans. On the objective side, our efficiency has long overtaken America's. To reach America's level, we can only go back into the past. Plainly, in a market where the income pattern has already been bent out of shape, going back into a low-efficiency past means the death of the market. Looking at the transport area, China holds nearly half of the world's stock of heavy trucks, and the load capacity of Chinese heavy trucks is well above the world average. China's transport efficiency, by implication, is well above America's. From the delivery angle, China is dominated by dense high-rise buildings and a high concentration of consumption. Whether the goods are delivered or the consumer collects them in person at a physical store, the higher density means that the labor actually consumed is well below that of the European and American markets. The same holds in the service sector area. From production through transport to delivery, then, China's efficiency has already moved past that of the European and American markets across the board. This is an objective fact that the mathematics already shows. Benchmarking thinking, that is, herd following, prevents the subjective from seeing this objective clearly. The result of brutal competition among holders of high efficiency is that gain flows in the perpendicular direction, to Wall Street. China is left in the position of one who would settle for being a slave, and finds even that beyond reach. Another blind spot in our thinking is the view that low profit comes from being at the low end, and that once industrial upgrading is complete, profit will naturally return. In reality, demand determines profit. Profit is the result. Demand is the cause. If there is no demand, neither high-end nor low-end can turn a profit. The high-end takes more investment, and the losses run deeper. Many European and American firms have gone bankrupt because local demand has gradually disappeared, not because their products were not high-end enough. Tying low-end and low efficiency together has no reason or ground behind it. Iron ore and oil have nothing whatever to do with being high-end. The massive demand created by urbanization, however, lets them earn outsized profits. The basic condition for moving from low-end up to high-end is a reversal in the structure of demand. The economic structure goes on living in the past. Upgrading for the sake of upgrading, in most cases, just creates profit for foreign suppliers. It has nothing to do with innovation.